Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hollow Knight! Last time we entered, we had already entered the capital city of Hallownest, known simply to us as the City of Tears. Last time we actually explored it. Stop rolling towards me. Get away, get away. I know you're just a bench sign. You're not gonna harm me at all, but it's weird that you're consistently rolling around and you're not stopping at all. Wouldn't there be friction putting you okay, the elevator wall was enough, I guess. We explored Soul Sanctum. We found this guy as well, upgraded our nail. We took a look around the place, found a way back up to Crossroads, got some extra charms, the usual stuff. And this time, we're gonna go deep down into the city. There's a hatch down below that was opened thanks to a simple key, and I am most curious to see what is down there right now. What kind of secrets is this city hiding away? You know, it's entirely possible this city could have water filtration systems! The horror! Alright, let's get down there and see if that's true or not. I assume that water filtration is a part of sewers. That was what I was kind of hinting towards. Is that, or is that like the water towers? I'm not really sure. I guess I may as well sell my relics to you. Not like I'm gonna need this feature very much. Common find, can't offer you too much for them. It'd be cool if his prices like went down the more of one he gave you, though I guess that would be a little, make the game even less inviting for new players than it already is. Another Wanderer's Journal, eh? This journal is of traditional stone type. Text endures well upon it. In its declining age, this city switched from stone to parchment, woven of spider silk. It's a small tragedy, but the moisture in these towers has rendered most of these texts illegible. Was the rain already here before Hallownest's dead, or is this new? Because I get the feeling it might actually be new, but if it was always here, then why the hell would they do that? Hallownest seal, eh? Give it here. You have anything else for me? If not, get your damn little self out of my home. Okay, well, I did have another Hallownest seal, but if you're gonna be like that, I guess I'll just go on. I guess I'll just leave. I guess it'll be mine. Forever and ever. I'll sell it to Sly instead or something. Alrighty. Let's go on down. I love the crest on the hatch there, man. They loved that symbol, didn't they? Welcome to the Royal Waterways. Yup, it's a sewer level. That's about what you have to expect here. Lots of darkness, lots of sewerness, lots of water, lots of disgusting water, lots of disgusting enemies. I'm looking forward to the great time we're about to experience. This guy here is known as a Whurmp. I'm serious. The enemy is called Whurmp. I love it. They start out small, they glide towards you as you get close. If you hit them, they inflate into huge different things. I guess they are very, very different in terms of size, but yes. They inflate into huge, large hitboxes that are kind of hard to avoid, but they don't really harm you that much. Other than that, they're just kind of minding their own business and only attacking you out of self-defense and fear. You can knock them around like that. They can't really control themselves that well in the air. They move very slowly. And that's basically it. Their lore entry is very, very funny, though, and I'm very excited to show you what that is. Oh, wow, apparently they die instantly in water. And if they die instantly in water, they don't drop any Geo. That's a shame. Give me this Geo. What charms do I have? It might be a leftover from last time. Yeah, it looks like it's a leftover from last time. I'll probably switch these out. I still haven't collected enough charms for me to make any good builds out of them. Perhaps I should use this. I should definitely equip this charm at some point. Hello, cracked wall. I see you there. Reveal yourself! Wow, I was joking, but there might actually be someone down here. What it sounds like, anyway. Hello? What's your business? What brings you down here? Is that a nail poking out of your backpack? Are those 2 nails? Won't take something if it isn't yours. That's the law. Everything you see, it belongs to me. Don't be angry. I'll share my food with you. If you give me Geo. Purchase food for 99 Geo? Why 99? Oh, you're trying to make it look, you reduce the price by 1 cent to make it look like it's $1 less, even though it isn't. This Geo is mine now. Don't try to take it back. How many people have tried to rob you that you have to say this to everyone? Here, take your food with you when you leave. Thanks. Is this what people ate for, like, fast food down here or something? The rancid egg? So Tuck here, I'll share my food with you. Give me Geo. Is an unlimited source of rancid eggs. She sells a rancid egg from a range of, I believe, 80 Geo to up to 99. I've never seen it go above 99, and I've never seen it go below 80. As long as you have the funds, she'll give you a rancid egg. With this way, you have unlimited chances of getting your shade back with Gigi if you lose it in a bad spot. You never run out, because otherwise rancid eggs would be finite, as there are only so many of them around the world, but Tuck is an unlimited source of them, if you should have the need. She is locked behind a secret wall, though, so it's going to take some effort to find her, but once you do, that's your reward. Once again, if you're like me on my first playthrough, and you never knew what rancid eggs did for a long time, you'll find her, you'll buy some rancid eggs from her, and wonder what the hell that was about. He's like, what the hell are the rancid eggs for? They are for good things. They're for very good things. Yeah, interestingly, they don't drop Geo when you kill them in water. Is that the case for every enemy? I've never noticed that. Oh god, these bellflies are everywhere down here. I don't know what it is about the sewers that attracts them. Maybe they like the smell of shit. They like exploding the shit. They like the smell. I don't know. Let's not go there. This guy, can't remember its name, but it is the standard crawlid for this area, except it differs a little bit. If you hit it, it then begins a different movement pattern. Okay, and this one actually chases after you, and if you hit it back to normal, if it flips back to normal, it'll go back to just mindlessly crawling around. It's an interesting little enemy for sure. I don't know how much this helps. It's like, this is the far harder attack pattern to avoid, unless it attempts to jump and then can't leave the ground for some reason. It's like stuck to the ground like a magnet. Like that one did. That was a little bit weird buggy, but so I don't know why they would switch back to the other one, but well. It's just how they want to live their life. Can't blame them. It might actually be kind of hard to fight for the average insect. Sure, I'll take this. Oh yeah, that is definitely, okay. So when you're filling your reserve bubble, hitting an enemy with the nail gives you a lot less soul than it usually does, but every other form of soul acquisition gives you the same amount. This is back to the entrance. We've just done one big loop around this room, so we may as well go down the one area we haven't. There's bench this way as well, so that'll definitely be helpful. Lamp. Destroy lamp. Lamp has been destroyed. Okay, we got fragile ground here. I don't feel the need to do that just yet, considering it's further down. Well, actually, there's really no reason for me not to. A bench! I like this bench. I like how it's resting on a piece of junk, so it's like a little crooked. I wish there was an animation if you sat here long enough, the knight would slowly slide down to the left if you didn't move at all. Another news. The noises coming from this room are very unpleasant. I'm gonna probably change my charms around and then I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Welcome to the world, fragile heart. That sounded like I gave birth to the charm. I don't think I should have worded it that way, but you know. Don't worry, even though it's a huge drop, Mantis Claw will get you right out of there in a jiffy. Are you guys considered minor enemies that respawn if you leave the room? Because it certainly felt like it. I just hit you with Thorns of Agony. Wow, that was cool. Wow, Vengeful Spirit leaves you with 2 health. I'll give that to you guys. You're tanky. You are very, very tanky. Okay, dude. Beep. Oh god. Climb back up the wall. I do hear a grub somewhere. Not quite sure where that is, but I see pieces of paper, and that's the far more important thing, right? Sorry, grub, but it is. Because then I can't mark your location on the map without the freaking map. I need to go find Cornifer first. That there was a Flukemon, a very unique enemy, and that once you kill them, they split into 2 separate enemies with 2 different behaviors. They basically have like 3 phases almost. So this is a normal phase. They see you, they dash after you, they make a bunch of creepy noises as they do. Then you kill them. Their top half just flies towards you slowly like this, and their bottom half chases after you like a dog. I think they can also climb walls. They sure can, though not as quickly as they run along the ground. I like that enemy. It's a very cool idea. Alright, there we go. Should be getting closer to him any second now. He's usually never more than a room away when you see paper trails. Heal in front of or heal behind the thing in the foreground there. Oof, the foreground's blocking my vision here. At least it's not as bad as Ori and the Blind Forest can be sometimes with that. Hello there. Pow! Oh, you were there. You were right there above me. We just get the soul right back to... Okay. Alright, I didn't need to do anything. Thorns of Agony just took care of him for me. Alright, there we go. Little chest down here. Why are the geopiles down here still chests, as if they're like the prized possessions of something? Oh god, this is a fluke fae. They bounce along the walls all crazily trying to chase after you. Their movement pattern is a little weird. It's a lot like the demon eyes from Terraria. I know that's not the best way to explain what an enemy does, but I mean, you saw what it did there. I think you get the idea. You saw how it was like trying to angle itself towards you and bouncing along the walls. Let me double check that I am getting the enemy names right. Fluke fae, and then the Flukemon. the Whormp's icon in the portrait. Oh, we got the journal entry. Extremely amusing creature. That's all he says. That's all his notes on the Whorp. I love it. There we go. Oh god. That's the type of humor I want to see in like Dark Souls item descriptions sometimes. Actually, there is plenty of that in Dark Souls item descriptions. There's like the rubbish items where the description literally calls you out for having it on you. It's like, why would you have this ever? or those times that the descriptions just like give some random gossip about an unimportant character, a background character. I guess that's most of them though. Cut you down, but it's still like, it like comments on their actions. It like gives its own opinion on things. The hunter's notes are kind of like that. Ooh, I think we got the journal entry for bellflies, actually. Another rancid egg in the meantime. Yeah, we did. But the icon was the one that you get for getting a new entry. That's kind of a weird bug with the icon there. It doesn't always work properly, but it's fine. An angry creature with no regard for its own life. A creature without fear. Can it truly be called prey? Absolutely not. That thing's a predator if I've ever seen one. Literally, they have no regard for their own life. How does such a thing like that even, like, evolve down here? How does such a thing like that survive? How are you, a species of animal, where the first thing you do upon seeing any sign of danger is bomb them, blow them up? Even if it wasn't even going to attack you, you immediately go bomb them and blow them up. How do you actually survive if you're that creature? In other news, we have a mini-boss. Or a combat arena. This might just be the easiest combat arena in the entire game. Listen to this music. I like how Cornifer is adding some background elements to it. They're seriously playing music this intense for Whorps. Like, you gotta be kidding me, guys. This wasn't a serious design choice, right? They weren't just like, oh yeah, a room filled with Whorps, the most challenging of all enemies. Look at that, I got hit twice, but I'm back down to my usual set of health. Big door here. I guess Cornifer's important too. No, he isn't, because I just opened this door and I get to see where it is first. I mean, we've been heading straight to Cornifer every single time we've seen him so far. We may as well change it up a bit. This takes you back down to this area of the fungal wastes. This big door that we passed on the way down to the area with Dashmaster and where we saved Bretta had this pipe entrance, and the entire time it was the sewers of the City of Tears. I love this shortcut because it, like, oh my god, the world is so interconnected, it's so well done, it's so well detailed, and I love it. You can break the pipes and water gushes out of them for a split second. I love that. Not a split second, a full second. Alright, Cornifer, time to buy your map. Oh, aren't these waterways thrilling? Yeah, in all the worst ways. A labyrinth of pipes and tunnels. Couldn't have asked for a better place to employ my talents. It's all so orderly, so considered. Nothing like the crude irregularity of those caverns. Gotta be honest, it does feel a lot like those caverns, but hey, that's just the game design that I'm seeing. But so sad. My trunk is telling me those fungal wastes are close, and I sense my damp adventure may have reached its end. Guess I'll be calling this map done. Dude, there's an entire other side of this place that you can go check out first. Like, look at this. Okay, this is his map. It's pretty well done, but look at this place. Look, there's something here, there's something here, there's something here. Why do you not go this way? You explore a fourth of the place, smell the fungal waste, and you're like, I guess that was the whole region. I'm done now. Time to sell this map. I'd wager these pipes and chambers were once used to carry the city's waste. Would have been a horrid stench down here. Thankfully, that constant rain has flushed them clean. Good. That's actually good. That must imply then that the rain came later. The rain was came long after Hallownest died out. Can I make that jump? want to say that yes, I absolutely can. That's not like it helps, actually. I heard the shiny, and I thought I was going somewhere important that would have a cool item that makes that shiny sound, but I guess I didn't. Oh, speaking of which, there's actually a couple of areas that I should get going to in the crossroads, which I may do this time if there's time. There's an area around here, and one here that I can now go into. First of all, though, let's see what's down here. Oh, God. That water looks like acid for a split second, and for a while I'm like, oh my God, am I gonna die? But no, it's safe water. You can drink it. Actually, should you? Probably not. Don't do that. Over here in the corner is a mask shard. A few mask shards are just laying out in the open areas like that, or, well, laying out in this very specific room of this very specific area, but you know what I mean. Oh, God. Okay. Thank you, Thorns of Agony. You saved my ass twice. I have to say, it's really funny to me how, this is gonna be a weird topic, but I don't know which came first. The spelling of the word S that we know, or, like, the British pronunciation and the British spelling, which is os. Like, they actually have a completely different spelling in order to tell the pronunciations apart. Hello. It's like the golden strawberries from Celeste, except it's a golden raspberry, and it stinks. Get it out of here. Ah, no. Take a guess of what it has. Of course, it's a rancid egg. That's your reward for killing it. I don't know what is it called? I need to look that up. Blug sack. Defeat 4 more to decipher the hunter's notes. Well, thankfully, they weren't very hard to defeat, so I think we can do that very easily. Pound you into the dust, into the dirt. There's no dust or dirt down here. Well, there might be dust, but dirt, definitely not. Look at that backdrop, man. I have to say, the Royal Waterways aren't the best looking area in the game, but this, seeing that backdrop is really, really cool. Alright, fine, I'll break it open this time. Yeah, I just passed right by this cracked glass despite pointing out the other breakable walls as I'd gone by. This one I decided to ignore just to change it up a bit. The grub is behind it, and once again, I have to say, how did you burrow into the ground? Like, that's freaking... It's metal floors, or... Is this metal? Would this be metal? I'm not really sure. Just seeing if there's anything else back this way. I don't think there is, but I just want to make sure. I love this large open room for one singular enemy. I guess it's supposed to be like, if you go this way first, it's like your introduction to them, right? So maybe that's what they were thinking with that. Still, though, it's one guy, and you can kill him in a few nail hits if you have your nail upgraded. You definitely should have that upgraded by now. Okay, seems like if we go up, we'll just be heading back out into the first room, which didn't have anything else for us to see, I don't think. Oh, actually, it had a different entrance down, but we found this one, and this one works fine. It leads you to the same room, so let's start from here. Rest on the bench, respawn all those guys for no reason. Break open this one-way door. Can you go up here at first? Okay, yes, you can. If you loop down from down below, if you loop up from down below, you can come up here to the bench first thing. Even if you go from the other entrance, you don't have to go through the breakable floor from up above to get down here. Took me way more words than I should have to word that, but it's fine. I like that background element hinting you to the location of this. This we could do. Takes us even deeper, but I think we have yet to clear out this room from up above, so I say we do this first. Destroy that pipe. Destroy all the water infrastructure. I love these things that are being brushed aside as I pass by, and I can cut them. I don't know what those are, but to be honest, now that I think about it, I don't think I want to know what those are. Do I want to know what those are? Oh, no. I just put a very disturbing image in my own head, and yours as well. Sorry about that. I tend to do that sometimes. Break you. Get this. I think, one of the subtle advantages of swinging upwards, yeah, you don't take any pushback from it. I should show that next time I fight a stationary thing. But, normally when you slash horizontally like this, you get pushed back for every hit, unless you have steady body. But I think if you slash upwards and hit something, you don't get any knockback at all. Not that it's that useful, since obviously you shouldn't swing upwards at every single thing, especially moving enemies. But, you know, it is a thing. It's a little property about your nail attacks that I felt like I should tell you, because if I want this to be the most informative walkthrough of Hollow Knight possible, I gotta say that. Alrighty, hello there. I'm gonna dodge you, and then Get you out of here. What is with them, like, sticking to the ground like that? Seriously. Oh, the Thorns of Agony switched into the other mode. I miss Gathering Swarm already. Perhaps I should put that back on. That's the first room of the area. We've already been there. We just went up this tunnel. So let us head further right. Take you out. Hoping that barrel was in the foreground and I could break it. I'm gonna cut up every single little piece of whatever that is, because I'd rather not think about what it is, so I'm gonna destroy all of it. This seems like it's heading somewhere important. Let's go the unimportant places first. Hi, Fluke Fae. Out of here. It's worth noting, I would exercise caution in descending too deep into the sewers if it takes you 2 hits to kill those little Fluke Faes. There's a very particular reason why. That was a very specific warning I gave, and there's a reason for that. I'll be covering that later, though. Alright, I was about to say take a shot every time you... I don't really want to promote that, though, and I definitely don't recommend you do it, because if you did it in this case, you die. But, like, how many times do I say, I will do this later throughout my Let's Plays, seriously? It's just the only words I could think of to describe what I'm about to do later in the video. You can see this very long tunnel takes us here. I think this might be more of the same bad room I don't want to be in, the same no good, very bad area. Or is it? Actually, I don't think it is. I think this is somewhere else. Royal Waterways is very hard to navigate in. And for this reason, well, I'll get into this later. We're just starting. Somehow I never noticed this. There's water running off the edge here, and it starts from the middle of this platform. That's really cool. I never noticed that before. It'd be cool if it played, like, extra slushy noises as you step through it, but I get why it doesn't. If I asked for this much detail in this little indie game... I mean, there's already a ton of detail in this game, but still, if I was, like, going crazy for this much detail, if I was about to say, like, this game sucks because there aren't extra particle effects for walking through the tiny stream of water on the floor, then I'd be no different from all the obnoxious fucking gamers on Twitter that can't... Like, every time you have a new AAA game, they're like, oh, I can't chop down the trees in a game where chopping down trees wouldn't do you any good at all. It's like... Oh, I can't destroy the apples with my gun. I'm like, this is the shit you're complaining about? How about you look at the actual gameplay first? Alright, anyway. Pink Crystal? Interesting. I wonder where else we've seen Pink Crystal. And... maybe I believe hard enough? No. What a shame. Well... Pink crystal might be some kind of clue to how we can get across this. I wonder... Guess I'll have to keep that in the back of my mind for the time being. Kill those lamps, free the Lumaflies. It'd be cool if you got an achievement for, like, destroying every lamp and freeing all the Lumaflies in the game. But... I also understand why there isn't. Hollow Knight's achievements are of the more, like, progression-oriented achievements, where you get achievements for accomplishing things throughout the game, rather than doing the most random, mundane shit like, oh, click on the seed in the fucking high score menu or something. Like, I don't have any specific examples for things like that. Oh, it's like the ones in Terraria. There's an achievement you get in Terraria for wearing the unicorn vanity set and then shooting the rainbow gun. I'm like, wow, what an accomplishment. You got very specific items and put them all together. I mean, it does require you have the rainbow gun, which is a really rare item in that game, so it's kind of cool, I guess, but... The other thing requires a Halloween costume, which only shows up in a specific event in that game. So, yeah, a little strange. Oh god, Bellfly, and... On my first playthrough, I thought this area was covered in meatballs. That's what I saw these as at first. And then shortly, I remembered what area this is and where we're located, and then it all made more sense to me. Hello? I didn't know shit could talk.
Tito's come! Iko! Mara! Mera! Ako! Rumas!
Are you ready for the goofiest shit imaginable? And I mean that very literally. Dung Defender, the proud knight of Hellenist that takes great pride in throwing fecal matter at you. Seriously, he was a knight of Hellenist. It's crazy to believe that his career must have ended real badly, might I say. He'll dig into the ground, then emerge, releasing 4 balls of shit in either direction. Yes, I'm gonna be calling it shit every single time. I'm not in the YouTube partner program, it won't affect me. You can also throw balls of shit like that bounce around the rune 3 times before breaking. You can direct them away from you if you hit them with your nail, like so. Okay, when he digs in the ground, there is something you could do against this, but I'd rather let him show off his attacks first. Get that, I can swim through it like that. Oh my god. Make sure to wash your hands after this fight. Or your legs, I don't know. Insects don't have hands, do they? What do you call them? Their limbs. Their abdomen, I don't know. No, not, I don't know. Ignore me. Alright, there we go, same thing. You can hit him just as he hits the ground there. Throws that. I believe if he throws 2 of them, he's gonna follow it up with this. Now, while he's under the ground like this, you can never mind. Okay, you can't stomp him out of it, like so. That will stun him, allowing you to get some free hits, or, you know, cause an instant stagger so you can heal. It's very cool. Listen to his voice for a second. I have never heard a boss so happy to be doing the attacks that they are doing, especially when it's this. I love this guy so much. He has so much passion for this. He put a lot of effort into attacking you with this. I wish I still had Spore Shroom. I'd try to kill him with it if I did. What other charms do I have equipped right now? Oh yeah, I have Spell Twister. I should probably be using spells, huh? The Spell Twister is going to be a little wasted on me because I like to take bosses slow so I can show off their attacks, meaning I don't use spells very often. I'll change that now. The big little, like, the big little. I love my descriptors for things. The big attack he did there where he spammed the, this attack a bunch of times there happens when he's halfway down on health, or around that level. So he's about to perish any second. About to perish in the piles of shit. What a way to go, bro. Alright. Nah, I don't want to heal. Me shooting that thing was me changing my mind on that heal. Okay, redirect that away. And there we go. I can stand here, and eventually I should. I really haven't been hitting them often, have I? There we go. What a wacky fucking boss, man. In a game that otherwise is kind of like, has more of a serious tone, the dialogue from NPCs definitely indicates that. Hollow Knight has some great humor from time to time, and this is very much one of them. I love this fight so much. This has to be one of my favorite bosses in the whole game. I was so excited to talk about it, I had a voice crack while saying bosses. Your reward is a new charm. Defender's Crest is an interesting one. For 1 notch, you emit a heroic odor. It is just as you think. Equipping this charm causes you to emit clouds of poo smell. Any enemies caught in this cloud take 3 damage every 0.3 seconds. I know the very specific numbers don't make it exactly clear how much damage it does, but it does a tiny amount of damage similar to Spore Shroom. That effect on its own isn't terribly great. It has one very, very good use case, but aside from that, it's not that great. But the main reason to use Defender's Crest is that it has a lot of special combinations with various other charms, and I will be sure to show those off as the time passes, or as the playthrough goes by. For now, smack! What? That's what I do to random levers in the middle of sewers. It always goes well. See, look at the green color. Doesn't that look pretty? Doesn't that spice up this room a lot, especially with the shit in the other room? We probably just turned on an air freshener that's gonna make this place smell much better within an instant. It's unclear what exactly that switch has done, but it's certainly done something. Now, we find ourselves somewhere new. Hey, look at that pipe. If you were to somehow find your way to this area before hitting that lever, that pipe would appear gray and bland and normal, just as the one in the other room did. But upon activating it, you get to see the liquid running through this room as well. Pretty cool detail. We are now somewhere over here. And if my calculations are correct, we should be on the other side of this locked door. Let's go see if I'm correct about that. Hi, I see you there. You ain't slick. Can I, like... No, your vengeful spirit can't go through walls, so I think I'm gonna have to... Surprise from up! Damn it! You reacted too quickly. Come on, that was inhuman reaction times. Well, you aren't a human, so I guess that makes sense. Alright, we could go further down in this room, but, well... Okay, 1 second. We do go further down. Yeah, you see all these spikes? Yeah, do you want to mess around with this place? I don't think so. Ah! Seriously, I don't think I want to mess around in this place anymore. I wish I could, like, take their nail. What if their nail did more damage than my own? Well, it only does 1 damage to me, and, I think with my upgraded nail, it would have to deal, like, 2 massive damage for it to be worth it for me. But, you know. This way allows you to emerge back in the City of Tears once more. It was a brief little jaunt down in the sewers, but it was fun. Yeah, it only lasted like half an hour. I guess that was half of this video, but still. Out here in this new area of City of Tears, we got a load of new enemies to see. We're on this area, so yeah, brand new room here. I guess I hesitate to call this a room, though. This guy, this big tanky guy, is a Great Husk Sentry. Their tankiness is their whole deal. Otherwise, their attacks are pretty basic, though they deal 2 damage. They can block up above, and they can also slash up above. They also have terrible attention spans, and if you could just go behind them, they forget you exist and start heading the other direction until you blast them with a magic spell, and they're like, oh, yeah, you existed. I guess I should stop you, maybe. Man, whatever kind of affliction's overtaken you, it's definitely reduced your attention span. All right. You're seeing, like, I'm having to hit him so many times to take him out here, but if you poke a bounce off the top of him, it'll be much easier. I think you can... attack him from the front like this? Yeah, but you only can really get 1 hit off, and there's a good chance that'll happen, so I take care to avoid that, were I you. They drop 50 geo upon killing them, so it is kind of worth it, if you can manage to do that. Flowers. This looks very cool. I think first, before I go to the right anymore, I'm gonna go this way. Every corpse, every enemy that you kill with a spell has their corpse darken a little bit. I wonder why that is. Just the magic influence has sucked all the life out of them. I don't know if this is perceptible in the video, but for some reason, every time I walk over an elevator shaft, the knight's animations noticeably jitter. And I don't know what's up with that, really. I don't know if it's perceptible with 60 FPS. It might be, like, because, like, I'm seeing the game in a higher frame rate than 60 FPS, so it might only be visible to me. Take you two out with that. I haven't even acknowledged these guys. 3 new enemies all at once. Husk Dandy, Cowardly Husk, and Gluttonous Husk. They differ very little from the basic Wandering Husks up from Crossroads, other than the fact they make a lot more noise, and they're rich, so they drop more money. I think that's really funny. You get, like, these zombie rich people that you can kill, and they drop more money. I love that. Okay, can't do anything here. Can stomp through this glass for whatever it's worth. I don't know why you would do that, but you can do that. Call the elevator back down. The Dandy Husks swipe you like that. The Cowardly Husks, I think they run away from you at first, though they can start running towards you when their health gets low. As like a final resort. You can also unlock this door from the other side and revisit the oh-so-beautiful fountain. And now we have the whole entirety of City of Tears unlocked. We can now connect to the other side whenever we wish. And finally, the Gluttonous Husks, they jump at you and kill you with their body fat. That's about it. Chop you up. Hey, that one actually got chopped in two, unlike the other one earlier in the City of Tears. You can hear another Great Husk Sentry above us. I remember the first time I saw Great Husk Sentries in my first playthrough. It was in a different area than this, but, you know, I saw it and I was immediately like, I think I'll just go the other direction. Hope you don't mind. Oh, that was my first sight upon walking into a new room, and I was like, all right, other direction. All right, I think it is very effective to use Desolate Dive on them, especially because you are invincible, so you'll be pushed out of their hitbox before they can possibly damage you. I have over 5,000 Geo. Just wait until I have over 9,000, then I can reference that old meme. A nice way to kill these guys, though, if you have mastered the art of pogo bouncing, I've kind of already been doing it, though, like, not fully. You can just kind of sit on them and take damage again and get almost close to dead and then go away and heal and then Do this. If they're swiping upwards, you dodge out of the way, then you get back on. And you can just combo them to death this way. If you intermix some Desolate Dive in there, they'll go down much faster. The poker method works, but it does take a really long time. Nice view of the background there, man. I wish you got a clearer look at these buildings. Because, like, this is all you really get to see of them, is all the windows in the sides. You also get to see what they look like on the inside. But you never get a great view of what the city's supposed to look like from up above. Part of me is okay with that, because it allows your imagination to fill in the blanks, and, you know, it makes the world somehow even more magical that way. But my main character's getting a great view of all this stuff right now. I wish I could see it too, but... well, this way at least I get to have eyes on the back of my head. We have a hot spring through this door, apparently. That's the symbol for them. And it's another simply locked door. Gonna have to find another one of those somewhere. Damage you. What's in here? Alright, just a room with a bunch of dudes. There's the gluttonous husk using his body fat as a weapon. Gotta say, it did work for him. That's about it, really. I hear grunting in the other room. I'd rather not investigate. Let's just get back out of here before I disturb someone. Oh, I have yet to show this. You can hide the key, and you can also hide the pins if you want to see the map underneath the key. Though you can't hide your own pins. I guess you're expected to remove them yourself. That makes enough sense. I'm gonna mark that. Mark that conspicuous location where we heard grunting. I'll wait for them to finish, then I'll check out what that is later. What is this? I never noticed this. What is this? Is this a tent? It looks like it would move. It looks like you would bring it places. It almost looks like a sled as well for sledding in the winter. But it's definitely not a sled. There ain't no snow around here, so I don't know what that's about. Let me dive you. Dive on your face. Swan dive. That wasn't a swan dive. It was the desolate dive, obvious. What just happened? What just happened? What was that? Oh god, they also have they can also swing behind themselves a little bit. You want to watch out for that. I have no idea what just happened there. I was like standing on him. Alright, well, I guess I just unearthed a bug that I've never seen before because I never really used Desolate Dive very much. Interesting. Okay, kill you. That didn't finish you off. Man, Vengeful Spirit's starting to get weaker. I guess my hype for it was a little ill-advised, wasn't it? You are guarding a grub. I believe if I just activate you, if you're not that great at fighting these guys, you can't activate him, save the grub, but you will be locked in here. You don't have to kill him to save the grub, but you do have to kill him if you want to exit alive. So that we shall do. Wait a minute. There's a ledge there? What? I just learned 2 new things about this game I didn't know of before. Wow. That's why I love playing these games. Games like this never end with things to learn about. There's always something new that you never knew about before and you discover in a repeat playthrough. And that's why I love these games. There's just, you know, it makes them so replayable. Wait, where is it? Oh, I was standing on top of the doors collision. I didn't even know you could do that. All right, well, I wonder if that allows for a speedrunning technique. Probably not. Hey, Stag Station, that sounds nice. There are 2 entrances into this station area. And that's because this is the King's Station, so it is suitably grand, just like the King was himself. Hello there. Defeat you in the... I was gonna say defeat you in the anus, but that is the opposite of where I hit you, so... Oh my god. One of the funniest videos online. I don't have, like, the original video for it. Maybe I could look it up, but... It's a little clip of a dad showing his kid a picture of Uranus on the wall of a playground. And at first he goes like, let me show you Uranus. That's Uranus right here. And then the kid goes, Dad, where's my anus? I think he was like showing it to a different kid. That was a different kid that said that. Oh my god, it's amazing. Might be staged. I don't care. It's still funny either way. That's the thing with those online videos. Some of them are probably staged, but you know, I don't really give a shit. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna go into this middle room straight away, not only because this is a stag station, which means we have a bench, which means I could switch out my charms to show something cool in the other room, but also we have a new fast travel point in the City of Tears, making this all the more convenient. Wow, I'm glad I got that 300 geo since I pointed out my geo count before. Because now I just use it all on this station. Little one, we stand in the King's Station. Named, of course, for the King of Hallownest, he ordered the building of the stagways and stations. The king never rode the stagways himself, but I've heard he was a glorious bug to behold, bright and radiant in visage, So much so it hurt to look at him. Oh, if that's the case, maybe it's a good thing he didn't talk to his citizens a lot. He would have been hurting his citizens' eyes the whole time. Ready to travel the Stagways. Before we leave, I must say, this is my favorite stag station in the entire game. The rain of the City of Tears does wonders for the atmosphere here, and I love the water dripping off the ceiling, dripping off the floor. Oh, it looks so good. All right, swap out Thorns of Agony for Gathering Storm, because I like to show something. On my first playthrough, I was stuck and very befuddled, bewildered, etc., trying to figure out how to get that geopile there, that geostash, whatever you want to call it, geo-treasure. And the way I ended up going about it was by hitting it through the wall with the nail, which I don't think I can do without charms. Yeah, I need to go put on charms. With Mark of Pride and Gathering Swarm, you can hit this I swear you can do this, guys. You can hit this geopile through the wall. Please, thank you. There we go. Don't make me look like a liar here. And the geo drops inside of that room, but it flies to you thanks to Gathering Swarm. Geo flown to you can also go through walls. I don't know if I've ever been over that officially, but yeah, there you go. No need to actually solve the puzzle on how to get there, which, by the way, is to go down to the area below and jump up through here. There's a secret passageway that takes you inside. No need for an ability or anything like that. Interestingly, this door is a door you can never open. There's no lever for it or anything. I wonder if this is one of those games where, like, a door always needs a lever accompanying it, and so out of bounds somewhere, there's just a lever that opens that door that you can't access through normal gameplay. Probably not, but, you know, it's just a guess. Well, ain't this some world building? We got a different stag station here, though instead of being overgrown, it's simply run down. And there's 2 Vengeflies in it. That's all that's left of it. Stag definitely can't go down here. Thankfully, the station above still works, or else we'd be screwed. I guess not screwed. It would just be one station we couldn't use. Like, yeah, big deal. Somehow I haven't been hit too often by those guys, despite me saying loads of times that they're hard. Alright. I think it's time for me to talk about that a little bit. Is there anything else I want to explore first? Anything else on the left side? I don't think there is. We can't go up through this room, so... Well, we can see on the map that there's something down there, apparently. Better get to that at some point. Actually, it's dark, so I'll make it look gray, like the color of the caves in the bedrock, you know? In Minecraft. I do want to say something real quick before I go. I've been watching, over the past year, because that's how long they spent playing this game. No shame on them, but, you know. I've been watching a streamer, who I follow on Twitch, play through Hollow Knight for the first time. They had a much rougher time than I did. They were dying a lot, they were losing their shade a lot, they were losing their geo a lot, and they were basically, like, in debt for the majority of the first half of their playthrough. And, you know, Hollow Knight's hard, that can definitely happen, but it hit them really, really hard in the City of Tears. Not in this area in particular, in this first area. The moment when you open the doorway and then you get trapped inside, and the only way is to progress forward and find one of these 2 ways out in order to exit the City of Tears. That's the section they were in, and the sentries were really, really hard for them. The sentries were kicking their face in, for lack of a better phrase. And they kept losing their geo over and over again, making very little progress trying to get it back. I don't think they were using Thorns of Agony either. They were just like, you know, they were just having a hard time against the enemies, and I can't blame them. The sentries are hard. Absolutely. It takes a bunch of practice to learn them. But the result of this was, in order to exit City of Tears, you need to either pay money for the lift or pay money for the stag station. Money they didn't have because they kept losing it. This made me lose any amount of love I may have had for the death system, because it was turning an otherwise extremely fun, punishing, yet very, very fairly challenging game into a boring grind slog that was just overly frustrating for them. It's the most frustrated they ever were playing this game, and it honestly kind of made me feel bad, and I was like, man, Hollow Knight can be a really mean game. Because, yeah, without the sufficient funds to leave, they were basically just trapped in the City of Tears. They couldn't do anything about it because, like, they had to fight through all those freaking sentries to get up there, and they would probably end up dying, then losing their geo, and thus all their hard-earned progress in terms of making it out. And it wasn't until they, like, actually just sat down and grinded geo off of them that they eventually ended up buying one of the 2 options to leave. And that's just a way that the death system can make this game incredibly annoying. I just... I already wasn't a terribly huge fan of the death system, just because I'm not sure it works that well in this game. Like, obviously, the geo economy that we have is balanced around it. The amount of geo you get from things and the amount of geo you have to spend on things is balanced around the fact that you might lose it. So, like, you get so much in excess, and if you look at the right places and if you get good, then you won't have too many problems with it. But because there is the possibility that you could be killed so many times that you're literally trapped in an area, forced to slowly grind your way out of it, any amount of positivity I had towards the death system evaporated watching that. That was pretty bad. It kind of sucked all the fun out of Hollow Knight, and yeah. With the death system having the potential to do that, that's why I'm not a very big fan of it, first and foremost. Alright, there we go. Got this fun area above King's Station. I don't know what to call this building. I like to give these buildings names, but I don't really have any. Like, this is the tower where Lem is. This is also the tower where Soul Sanctum is. These are the city storerooms as we've been over. This I like to call Fountain Square. This has a name, actually, that we haven't seen yet. This is kind of like downtown. And then this area would be the station's tower, the clock tower, the King's Tower with King's Station at the bottom. Not really sure. Oh, I think I have the lore for the sentries now. I've killed enough of them. Oh, I also have lore for Dung Defender. Skilled combatant living at the heart of the waterways. Assails intruders with balls of compacted dung. Not dun. Fighting for honor, for loyalty. You may as well be fighting for dust. If you want to kill, do it for your own sake. That is the true nature of a true hunter. I think we all could tell that Dung Defender ain't no true hunter. More skilled at combat than most bugs of Hallownest, they are nimble but lightly armored. Keep the pressure on them. Lightly indeed. They definitely don't have a lot of armor. In fact, it was kind of hard for me to recognize that as armor. We could go to the left, or we could hit this window and watch as it doesn't break and wonder what kind of glass they made that out of. And then go up here. This is a hard area. Just gonna tell you straight away, this is a combat arena, and it actually starts with these guys in it, though these are not the main enemies of the arena. It'd be very funny if they were. The main enemies are sentries, and you have to fight loads of waves of them. This is one of the hardest combat arenas in the entire game, if you ask me. It gave me a lot of trouble in my first playthrough. I think I only died once to it, but still, it was a lot of trouble. It's given others I've seen playing this game for the first time lots of trouble, including the stream. Actually, no, not including the streamer I watched. Actually, they got through this first try, from what I remember. You got that, you got Flying Dude, you got Lance Guy, you got Heavy Dude, and then, God, you have, like, Small Dude, Heavy Dude, and Flying Dude. That's, it's a lot to keep in mind. There we go. Dodge the overhead swing. Now you have both types. I hate that attack from the Lance Guys. I freaking hate it. They instantly fall down to be in the same layer of combat as you, and so hard to react to, comes out way too fast. One of the worst attacks in Hollow Knight. Top 10 worst Hollow Knight enemy attacks. How was that? Pretty freaking challenging. Thankfully, you're highly rewarded for it. Vessel Fragment. Already starting the next one of those. Just like we're starting the next Mask Shard. This playthrough's going by so fast. Come on. Actually, well, is that really true? We've barely scratched the surface of this game, truthfully. It's just we happen to be collecting those health upgrades really fast. But, you know, that doesn't mean we'll get there. We'll get to the end of this game by next episode. Definitely not. There's a hole broken in the ceiling there, causing the rain to fall in. I guess they don't care about flooding. Hope you have good drain systems installed here, or else you're about to have a problem. There are also some guys ambushing you down there. That's a little behavior that those guys have in certain rooms. Never pointed it out, but it was there. This. Can I actually do this yet? Okay, well, I can't ignore the very obvious lift in front of me to show. Yeah, so if you bounce off the spikes, you can climb up the shaft. Now, you can't actually go to the room above that the elevator takes you to through the shaft. You do have to ride the elevator for that, but the fact that you can just, like, circumvent the elevator and climb all the way up this shaft is pretty cool. Let's see where it goes. I think we're about to near the top. Yeah, here's the top. Yeah, there's a door there. That door only responds to elevators, so little tiny insects like us ain't gonna be one of those. Hello there. Wait, that bellfly was floating in the air. Interesting. Okay. The reason why I haven't been attacking these guys is because they explode if you attack them. I think I've already been over that, but still, I may as well go over that in more detail. Well, this was a load of usefulness. Thanks! This is probably the first genuinely useless room in this entire game. At least the other one's led somewhere, man. Alright. dash past you, hit the lever. Let's see what's up above. That's an interesting sign down there. I wonder what that sign's indicating. Wasn't the same as the city signs. The sign's showing the way to the city, so I guess it was, I mean, yeah, I wonder what it's pointing to. Let's go find out before I continue to speculate about a bunch of random stuff that isn't important. This is actually the first Great Husk sentry that I saw in the game, and as soon as I stepped in this room and saw him, I was like, let's go the other direction. Kill you the same way we kill all the others. I used my iframes to avoid your attack there. You are useless, good sir. That's probably the worst thing to say to someone, especially to someone who's trained as much as those guys. You are useless. You've never done your kingdom any good. I was about to say country, but that would not make sense. Alright, so we got a bunch of guys, bunch of thingies, bunch of either rocks or people looking at a flower on that sign. Very cool. Now, this way is one of the coolest rooms in this game. There's a lot of these, so I'm going to be saying that a lot, but still, this is up there as one of my favorite locations in Hallownest. The Blue Lake. Look at this water. This is the cleanest looking water we've seen so far. Everything else has been acid or murky or in the sewers. But then here you have bright blue, almost ocean water. I love it. It looks great. We can swim all the way through. We can jump and dash if we decide that that's too slow for us. It's also the only place you really see a beach in this game. And then it had to be ruined by the freaking blood sack that's above us. Thanks. And you, too. I guess vengeflies and blood sacks can enjoy the beach just as much as us. All the way on the other side is yet another beach, and you again. What a calm place. It's action I want. Vicious and deadly battle. The serenity is a bore. Hello, Elden Ring players. Sorry, but it's like, it is kind of true. There's those areas in Elden Ring, apparently some areas in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree that look beautiful but don't have anything in them, and people always complain about them despite them looking beautiful, and like that should be important enough. So peaceful. So dull. Wow, Profiley, I didn't know you were in this game. If you're actually watching this, I'm sorry, but that's what you sound like sometimes. Alright, this way actually takes us somewhere new. This is the empty village containing Saluber's shop and the Forgotten Crossroads. If we jump down there, we won't be able to make it back up very easily, so I think for now I'm gonna head the other direction. Take a nice, calm swim through this area. It's the same as before. And if you're curious, in the first episode, when I had the clips of footage followed by me showing the game's logo on that background, this room is the room that I used for the background. The dust moving in the air and like the shininess while not looking completely gray and boring. It gave enough color to the place that I was like, that would make for a good background for that kind of thing, you know? Look at these shells. No one sells shells. That wasn't even the tongue twister and I still messed it up. No one sells seashells by the seashore. It was because of the cells, but you know. Very similar looking substance to what Oh, right, you get a soul totem here for some reason. Okay, cool. Why is that behind a breakable wall? Anyway, similar looking substance to whatever's in the sewers. I guess that isn't the kind of disgusting thing that I thought it was. Open this, and, what could be up here? Hello? Well, this is good news. There's a stag at least. False advertising. This is a tram station, and we still don't have the pass for it. I wonder why it's marked with a stag sign and not a tram sign. I think this might be a mistake that they never bothered to patch out. Either that, or they did want to make it look like that for lore reasons. I don't really know. I'm up here. Cursed are those who turn against the king. Good to know. I will never turn against the king, then. You have my word on that. To protect the vessel, the dreamers lay sleeping. Manamon the teacher in her archive, surrounded by fog and mist. Lurian the watcher in his spire, looking over the city. Hera the beast in her den, amidst the deep darkness beyond the kingdom. Through their devotion, Hallownest lasts eternal. Go no further, little shadow. What compels its climb out of the darkness? What compels its return to this sacred kingdom? A call from beyond the seals? By the vessel? Or by that captive light? Would the seals break? They cannot be undone. But the vessel weakens. That plague springs anew. They must be undone. Yet still, our seals remain. Our duty holds. It must be cast away. Our duty holds. It shall be done. Fade away, little shadow. Fade away and let us sleep in peace. What a terrible fate they visited upon you, to cast you away into this space between body and soul. Will you accept their judgment and fade slowly away? Or will you take the weapon before you and cut your way out of this sad, forgotten dream? Taken the dream nail. Hold D to charge and slash with the nail. Cut through the veil between dreams and waking. Oh man, I was just getting to the good part of that dream. Why'd you have to interrupt it? That was the best dream I ever had. Oh, hello, who are you?
Ah, you've returned. Welcome back to the waking world. Those figures, those dreamers, they reached out with what little power they still have and dragged you into that hidden place. But that talisman you now wield, the dream nail, it can cut through the veil that separates the waking world from our dreams. Even the dreamers themselves cannot hide from such a weapon. Though I must admit that sacred blade has dulled over time. Together, perhaps, we can restore its power. You only have to bring me essence. Essence. The precious fragments of light that dreams are made of. Collect it wherever you find it, and bring it to me. Once we have enough, we can work wonders together. Go out into the world, wielder. Hunt down the essence that lingers there. Collect 100 essence and return to me. I will teach you more.
The most unique ability in the entirety of Hollow Knight, the Dream Nail, is a very interesting one. This has a lot of use cases, but in general, it's an alternate weapon you can swing in order to access the dreams of another. In general purpose, this means you can use it on NPCs. It doesn't harm them, it doesn't deal any damage. Thought I should let you know. If you use it on an NPC, you can read their minds.
What are you doing poking around a dusty old mind like mine? Nothing of worth is hidden inside, believe me. But keep probing the world around you with your dream nail, and hidden things will reveal themselves.
It's a pretty cool little functionality. It reminds me a lot of that one game on the SNES, Live Alive, where there's that one chapter where, alternatively to talking to people, you can use your psychic powers to read their minds. Pretty cool.
You are still unpracticed in the way of dreams. Collect 100 essence with the dream nail. Visit me again, and I will share what little wisdom I have.
Does your wisdom include when the fuck to use semicolons?
Essence can be found wherever dreams take root. Have you seen them? Those whispering plants that grow all over this old kingdom? I believe there's one just outside. Why not strike it with your dream nail and see what happens?
They weren't whispering, but yes, I have seen those plants. And I know that I just had you listen to some music, but how about another? This might just be the most underplayed song within the game. The Resting Grounds theme. It only plays in a few rooms, and as the game goes on, you have less and less reason to spend any time in those rooms, and the rest of this very small area, otherwise, is entirely quiet, which is okay, but I still wish this theme played in more parts of this area. It's so cool. And by the way, before I explore whatever that shiny thing is over there, I just need to say how freaking cool this area is. The fact that you enter it for the first time, it's nothing but gray, empty, and silent. Then you go into this thing, you read about the dreamers, and then they freaking attack you afterwards with their menacing words. You go through that whole sudden dream sequence, you get a new item, and then after you wake up, you come back out to see that it's now all like blue, full of life, or I guess full of death that is now sprung to life. However that works. I guess because we have the Dream Nail, we're now able to see the remnants of the people here. That must be why that is. That's so cool. And you have this music going along with it. An area that was once very intense and, like, spooky is now very calming. And it's one of the most relaxing areas to explore in the game. That juxtaposition is really cool, and this is one of my favorite areas in the game for that reason, even if there's not much to do here. With the Dream Nail in our possession, we now have the ability to see ghosts around the world. One of them including this guy, who otherwise doesn't appear here. It's just an empty grave with nothing else.
Stop there. Those who try to leave this kingdom are cursed. Better to rest here until time itself sleeps. Hope and freedom. I thought that strength alone could grant me these things. In my dreams, I would cut that plague with my nails, and then I turned my weapons upon the king. When I awoke in this sacred place, I began to understand. Those who hope are already doomed. Do you still hope, Wanderer? Will you flee? Or will you raise your weapon and doom us both?
Dooming us both sounds like the more fun one, so I'll go with that. This is somewhat of a boss fight, though not like a full boss fight necessarily, but it is known as a warrior dream. They are the ghosts of the past that attack you. Normally, they attack you by their attacks are separate from themselves, and they launch it at you at its distant. It's weird and hard to explain, but that's how it works. As you can see, he launches both of his ghostly nails at you. He picks which one randomly. They go down. They'll also hurt you as they go back up to him, so watch out for that. If you want an easy tip, if I may take damage here on purpose. Really? Buddy. I mean, we all make mistakes, but still. If you go underneath this platform, he stops attacking, meaning you could just camp down here and heal whenever you need. As a result, this guy's not hard at all. If you stay up here the whole time during his fight, though, he can definitely be a little rough, but, just dash out of the way like that. It's the other one. Okay. After you get his health halfway down, he summons in 2 more and now attacks twice as fast. That's all this really does. The 2 more nails being added doesn't really do anything beyond that. You could probably just keep the original 2 and it'd be the same battle. I hit him twice with that. I think he's about to die then. Let's go. That's that. They're very simple fights, but they can definitely be challenging, just like everything else in this game.
I can see now. Those who turn against the king are doomed as soon as they raise their weapon. Do not call me a traitor. Simply call me a fool. I know you will not flee. Wherever you go, I will be watching.
Hopefully not haunting. I wouldn't want that. For defeating them, you gain essence. Essence not only comes from those whispering roots, like the one we hit in the other room, but from those guys. And that guy dropped a lot more. Got me over 100, so I guess let's go back and talk to the seer straight away. Also, because I didn't explain it, you are not time limited on collecting the essence from the whispering roots. It simply scatters them all over the room. You need to collect them all. The only thing is, if you leave the room, they despawn, but it will save which ones you've collected. So if you go back to that whispering rune and you hit it again, it'll only give the ones you haven't gotten yet. Just thought I'd let you know. I do like jumping up the stairs like this, but there's also a way more fun way to do it. Which, is surprisingly harder to do at lower frame rates, but at the frame rate I'm playing at, look at this. I can wall jump all the way back up, really cool. I like that flower door, I wonder what it's about though. Wonder if it'll ever open.
Ah, Wielder, you've returned. Let me have a look at the dream nail. Already you've collected 100 essence. Quick work. These things come naturally to you, don't they?
Yeah, it helps when you've played this game 6 other times.
No wonder the dreamers tried to bury you in that old dream. Perhaps you frightened them? Or perhaps being prisoners themselves, they desired your company? In any case, you still have a long way to go. Take this old trinket as encouragement from me, and return when you have collected 200 essence.
Yes, doubled her requirements. We don't lose any essence for that. We're not giving her anything. She just, she gives you a reward and says, come back later when you're stronger. Oh yeah, and after you get the Whispering Root, and then turns into this. If you strike this with the Dream Nail, it describes the area around itself. Through simple words like this. Penitent moth, dreams revered, resting alive, or whatever it said the first time. It basically just describes the area that it's in. Pretty cool little detail, but other than that, it doesn't give a terribly high amount of info on lore, necessarily. It might point out some things that would otherwise be unclear, though. Strangely, Cornifer never appears in the resting grounds. He has always just moved on and left this note behind. He came here before you and then left before you could possibly talk to him. I wonder if it's like Cornifer is here before you get the Dream Nail, but they kind of force you to get the Dream Nail, so and then after you get the Dream Nail, he's gone already. Otherwise, I don't really know what that's about. This stag station is free, and there's a good reason for it. There are certain ways you can enter the resting grounds, because this is not the only way you can enter the resting grounds, but there are certain other ways you can enter this place, and that would result in you being trapped here with the abilities you have on hand. You would not be able to leave this place without the stag station. So, in case you don't have enough geo and can't access any of the enemies down below that drop any, they made this stag station free to ensure you were always able to use it.
Ah, many stag stations have been opened. Again, I can travel the breadth of the kingdom. So many grand thoroughfares and old sideways I'd forgotten. Somewhere amongst the lies the stag nest, the place where I was born and raised. I thought its location lost to my failing mind, but now I can almost remember the path.
If you keep opening stack stations and beckoning me through them, perhaps I'll again find that nest. I would like that very much. Oh, I will absolutely do that for you. We've already filled out half of that screen. Jesus. The resting grounds. Passengers would come here to conduct rituals for those who are passed on. Not anymore, though. Perhaps the dead conduct their own rituals now? Possibly. I'll have to ask them sometime. Don't ask me how I have the ability to do that. Oh, speaking of which... tire so easily now, and my old legs seem to ache more and more. Still, I'm lucky to grow old at all. So many others haven't. Oh my god, I could be doing the echoed voice thing for all the NPCs that I read the minds of, because, well, there's gonna be a lot of them. And editing me only has so much patience for doing that, so I'll probably just read the rest of them normally in my own voice, because it's just their thoughts. It's not that hasn't been translated into an actual sound yet. Welcome back. Hello? You're Britta. I saved you from the area. Do you have anything else to say?
Faring well in your adventures below? Well, I had an adventure of my own while you were gone. I don't usually visit the town's graveyard, but I thought I'd go and visit the grave of an old friend. As I was walking amongst the tombstones, I noticed a strange kind of chanting coming from somewhere nearby. Extremely sinister chanting. I looked around to find the source, and I saw two bright, horrible, huge eyes staring at me from the door of a dark cave. I pretended I hadn't heard the voice or seen the eyes and scurried back to town. My friend will have to wait a little longer for her visit.
Don't worry, she's nice. She's a little weird, but she's nice.
I hope you weren't too disappointed by a little town traveler, though it's now a solemn place. Once we were much more welcoming. Entry to the kingdom was forbidden long ago, supposedly after some great calamity. Like Breath of the Wild! Many gates were closed, but our old well remains as a way to creep back in. Over the years, all kinds used the well to wriggle into the ruins. Wanderers, thieves, adventurers. Funny how few ever come back up. Perhaps they find what they're looking for? But I'm not so naive. No doubt they've all been gobbled up. There are countless dangers in those depths.
That dialogue unlocks once you've been to City of Tears. It's almost like he knows you've been there and is like, I hope you're not disappointed by Dirtmouth. It's definitely no City of Tears.
Did you see that tall cliff beyond the town's graveyard? That's only the base of a much larger peak. There's mines and machinery and all sorts of valuable rock forms inside. Many traveler through Dirtmouth headed straight for it.
Well, now that we have the Desolate Dive, we can go up this way, so I guess I'll have to look out for that next time. You can't be talked to, but I can sit on the bench next to you, and you start fidgeting more often, and over time you blush. That is an adorable detail, and I absolutely love it. I'm gonna switch out my charms. I'm gonna have to try spore shrooming some more enemies in the next episode. We're heading towards the end of this episode. I'm just gonna take a look around Dirtmouth real quick. See whatever there is to see. Oh my god, she's added a little thing on that. I don't know what that is. Is that a mirror or is that just like a bulletin board? And she has a huge like blush of me in bed. Oh my god. The white savior in darkness. Troubled dreams beset the maiden, her savior gone, consumed below. Now her only companion, the cold wind, moaning at her door. Her heart fluttered with sudden fear. Then still, a sudden calm. Why? A presence. A figure close behind. She doesn't dare look, doesn't dare move, fearful the slightest action would break the spell. She knew the presence at her bed, knew the calm only they could bring. Her white savior, now protector, standing tall beside, powerful, perfect, standing tall. Yep, definitely. Now that we have, now that we've been to Rested Grounds and seen that note, I'd like to buy the map from you. You can also buy these two after getting the Dream Nail, so here we go. Map of the Resting Grounds, sacred place not far from the crossroads. Cornford told me he found the area serene and calming, but it sounds a bit spooky to me. No thanks. It's not as spooky, especially when you have the Dream Nail in your hands. It's definitely not as spooky as you think. She does have something to say about each of the areas, or each of the maps whose areas they belong to. She has a brief description about them. I'll probably show them in an edit in a later video. This will mark Whispering Roots, I'll definitely take that, and this will mark Warrior's Graves, definitely take that. That's all her stock. You have any new dialogue? No, but you do have new thoughts! I'm glad I put down my weapon. This quiet life with Courtney makes me a lot happier. Be nice to stretch my legs again, though, sometime soon. How'd you put down your weapon? That shows a little detail that in her past, Iselda used to be like a combatant of something, or used to be like a soldier or something? I don't really know. All we know is that she at least did some fighting in the past. There was a ghost here in the graveyard the whole time. Let's talk to him.
Now they're wielding a weapon. I suppose you'll be leaving many a corpse in your wake? You won't spare thought for the dead. At least consider all the extra work you force upon those in my profession.
I'm sorry, but, I mean, you're kind of dead. You can't even bury them. Should I be burying them for you? Do as you will, little wanderer. Cut a path towards your goal. I shouldn't complain. It's your kind that keeps folks like me in business. Well, that was a very abrupt change of heart. That's all the dialogue he has. A bit of a one-note character, and there's a reason for that. We'll get into shortly. For now, I'd like to dreamnail Gigi, because I can't actually remember what she says if you dreamnail her. How long I must have slept. This land is so much darker now, so thick with the stains of regret. Even the air is murkier. If I sleep again, will the darkness creep in here and swallow me whole? Well, judging by your face under the mask, it looks like it kind of already has, so, you know. You're not too far away. I get that it's implied that her eyes are just really bright and that she probably has a different skin color underneath that, but you know. Oh yeah. Dreamnail Bretta right here. My savior. So close. And if you get far away, she turns towards you if you start to step closer. I love it. Finally, Slice Shop. I have gone on for way too long without bringing any attention to the Lumafly Lantern. You remember all those dark rooms we've discovered? There's actually a third dark room I could have entered down in Deepness that I didn't go to. It was the area with the spider webs. I avoided it for good reason. Not only are there spiders there, but it's also completely pitch black dark. But when you buy this lantern for the low price of 1,800 freaking Geo, those rooms will no longer be dark for you. And you don't even have to keep it oiled or anything. The Lumafly in there will do all the work. I guess I have to keep the Lumafly imprisoned, though. That's a bit sad. Should I get another one of these? Sure. I'll get the Mask Shard. The Vessel Fragment you can keep, though. I love how we do this little transformation sequence in the shop with him. You found a new nail, then. Looks like a much finer weapon than the last. Oh, this is the same nail, but it's been honed by someone extremely skilled. A nail is an extension of ourselves. It is the instrument by which we shape the world around us. It's a sacred duty to keep its edges sharp. Sorry, I shouldn't ramble on like that. Let's talk to you instead. You seem to know a lot about nails. You mentioned that, like, you know, judging by your stature, I'm sure you know how to wield your nail earlier when we discovered you initially. Wherever you are, whatever it is you do now, I hope you three are looking after yourselves. Aww. I hope we'll get to meet those three. Well, with that done, oh yes. Okay, before I truly end, let me direct your attention to the 3 new icons on our map. Those are the 3 dreamers, and those are the same faces we saw guarding the way to the Temple of the Black Egg. I think we've just received our main objective of the game. Gonna make one last stop in with the Grub family. Alright, more money. More money. More money. This is boring. Can you give me something else, man? No, just money? Okay. Okay, there's still more. There's still more. Jeez, I must have saved a ton since we last talked. Okay, that's that. I guess he ran out. You know, that's understandable. It's the last possession you had, but, you know, I still couldn't help but feel a twinge of how dare you with that. Oh, but they're the Grub family. How can I hate them? Wait. Before I ascend out of here, I want to show one last thing. We could ascend, instantly warp up to the surface like that. Or we could not. And find a Hallownest seal. I thought it would be a King's Idol, because it's kind of well hidden, but you know, it's cool. Right above the start of the game there is a little relic that you can only get with the Mantis Claw, because otherwise you can only just teleport straight up to the surface. It's kind of cool. Now, sitting on this bench next to Britta, I shall say to you, next time on Hollow Knight, I got a lot of things to check out. Here, and honestly, maybe here as well. There's gonna be a lot on our plate. I probably won't be able to do it all next time, but we'll see how much we can get done. Thank you all for watching if you did, and as always, I will see you all in the future.